Alright, Dolphin fans, how we doing? So, the 2023-24 Miami Dolphins season preview, what to expect, what I'm predicting, what I think is going to happen. Let's get into it. Now, before we get started, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. New channel, all right? If you're wondering what the hell is going on, I've been making Florida Panther videos, soon to be starting for my 8th season. That's what the Panther flag is for. But I've made a second channel now. It's Flying Fluffy Football. That's what this channel is. So, now, I'm bad at advertising. It is what it is. Hit the subscribe button, please. So the Dolphins. Now, if you watched my, which I still recommend, but I'm going to give one thing away. If you watched my NFL prediction video, I'm not going to give away the end first at the beginning of the video because that's bad juju. But I'll start with this. Last season, and this is relevant, I promise you. Last season, I stood here on September 23rd, just with a little bit of a different angle, and I predicted that the Florida Panthers were going to win the Stanley Cup. And I insisted that the Panthers were going to win the Cup, and I told anybody who thought I was wrong that, well, tough. I don't know what to tell you. And damn it, I'm still not over it. I do not think I'll ever get over it. I'm fairly certain, like a spouse cheating on you, I just don't think I'm ever going to get over the fact that nobody expected them to win. They got all the way there. I said they were going to win, and then we know what happened. So, how is that relevant? Well, I'm not. It's going to be a while before I stand in this position and say that any of my teams are going to win a championship, okay? Like if the wife cheats on you and you get a divorce, it might be a little while before you trust somebody. It's going to be a hot minute before I stand here and say, my team's winning a cup, winning a Super Bowl, whatever the case may be. So we'll start there. Now, it doesn't mean I don't think they're going to be good. I just don't. Look, you can tell by the white beard, I've been a Dolphin fan for a long time. You can tell, all right? I've got Larry Zonka, I've got Don Shula kicking Jim Mandich in the ass at practice. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of the generation I'm from. Last time the Dolphins won a Super Bowl, I was 1 year old. I don't feel any different. And what I mean by that is I still don't trust this team. I don't trust them. We've watched them go from 9-2 to 9-7 and miss the playoffs. We've watched them the last 2 times in the 20 years that the team has made the playoffs. This quarterback can't be healthy and we got to play with the backup. I don't feel any different. So, with that being said, 12-5 is the record that I feel the Dolphins are going to get. I do feel like in the end they're going to let us down, but I think this year it will be different because they're going to raise our expectations that much higher. I know some people think this is a Super Bowl team. There's not a lot of Super Bowl teams that have met offensive lines. Not a lot, all right? And when your biggest concern is offensive line and can your quarterback stay healthy, it's not a good combination. And add to the fact that the guy that we thought was, in quotes, at least the savior of the backup quarterback position, Skylar Thompson, couldn't even beat out Mike White, and Mike White didn't play very much. So, 12-5, I think the Dolphins are going to win the division. I'm not going to go game by game. That's futile at this point in the season, really. I'm going to have a game preview every week. That's what those are for, to try to predict now who's going to win Game 8. It doesn't. There's no way to know who's going to be healthy, what the situation is going to be. 12-5, I think they're going to win the division. Now, in terms of the offensive line, I believe it was Chris Sims said something that I actually agreed with. Now, him and Florio actually said that he felt like the Dolphins were going to win the division. But what I think it was Sims said was that, yes, the offensive line is sketchy, but that Mike McDaniel is really good at hiding that. All right? He can devise plays to slow down the linebackers, etc., etc. My humble request is, would you please, Tua, please, dude, don't make me do this again. Last year, I would look at the film, and it would be an incomplete pass in at least 50%. And I'm being kind. But at least 50% of the time on his incomplete pass down the field to whoever, standing over there at the other side of the line of scrimmage is one of our running backs with just nobody near him. Nobody on our team, nobody on the other team. The cheerleaders weren't attacking him. He wasn't selling lemonade. He wasn't buying a beer. He could have just been sitting there smoking the joint. For that's how much attention anybody was paying to him. Please, Tua, every once in a while when you're under pressure, I promise you, if you look to the left or the right, you've probably got about an 80% chance that either Mostert or Wilson or one of these guys is going to be standing over there going, there ain't nobody covering me. Please, dump it off every once in a while. Make them account for the running backs. Now, we'll find out if Mike McDaniel is as smart as everybody thinks he is. So that's the offense. We all know about the wide receivers. We got a million wide receivers. Running back room, yeah, we got nipple tucked with Dalvin Cook, and then we got flicked in the nuts with Jonathan Taylor. What the hell ever, man. Those are the guys that we got the guys we got, and that's the team. Now the defense, and this is where I get a little bit queasy. Defensive line depth is okay-ish. I like the linebackers. I like the secondary, except for the fact that what's the over-under on any one of our corners staying healthy? How many weeks? 2 weeks? 3 weeks? Right? We're already, Jalen Ramsey, the biggest off-season acquisition, made it through a practice and a half. That is the picture of the Miami Dolphins. You guys remember Yatil Green? Everybody who remembers Yatil Green, raise your hand, right? Oh, the next big thing, the next big toy from Marino, right? Straight out of frickin', was it even from Marino? Was that? I think it was. It might have been at the tail end. I forget. The point is that the dude was a fantastic wide receiver, stepped onto the practice field, and I believe it was the first day of practice, right? First day of practice, it was either his knee or his Achilles that went. He never could recover. He tried to come back. He hurt it again, and he was done. He was like the Chad Pennington of wide receivers. So I know that on paper the Dolphins look like they should at least be a Super Bowl contender. On paper. But in theory and in reality, I don't see them any differently than the Dallas Cowboys. A team that was once great, that looks like they could, and then, oh look, they tripped and fell on themselves. So unfortunately, and I hate doing it as a Dolphins channel, but I'm going to give you the good. I'm not a homer liar. Let's just put it that way. I built the hockey channel bitching and complaining about the team until they were good, and now I bitch and complain that they don't win the cup. So perspective is everything. In terms of the Dolphins, 12-5, we're going to win the division. Now that's the good news. Now. The bad news is what I think is going to happen in the playoffs. And mind you, last year, like I said, I got it wrong at the very end. I got a lot of it right, but at the very end I was wrong, so I will gladly take being wrong this year. I think the reason why we're going to go 12-5 and get everybody's hopes up and win the division is because we're going to sweep the Jets during the regular season, and we're going to get a home playoff game, and Tua's going to be healthy, and we're going to get a home game against the Jets, and they're going to beat us. Now, I know you don't like that any more than I do, but if you really think about this in terms of the history of this team, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that I'm wrong. Tell me that that's not how it will go for this team. This team is different. Now, I'm fine with them being wrong. I'm fine with it. If you believe this team is different, that's okay. I'm not seeing it yet. I'm seeing the same thing. I'm seeing glue and paper mache in the backup offensive and defensive line. I'm seeing the injuries to the running backs. I'm seeing the injuries to the secondary. And I'm saying, this looks like every other damn Dolphin season. And questions at backup quarterback. That's what we got. I still say, oh yeah, we're gonna be one of the better teams in the AFC. And oh boy, are people's hopes going to be up when we sweep the Jets. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I don't know what else to say. Right? I don't know what else to say. All right. Boy, do I hope I'm wrong. All right. Poor Kyle, my son who streams the game with me. He's 24. They've never won a playoff game. Right? No, that's a lie. That's a lie. When we beat, was it Seattle that we beat the game before Marino's last game? It was either Seattle or the Colts. I forget which one it was. But that game, he was about 8 months old, and he spent that game in the rocking chair. I would rock him, and we would watch football while Mommy would sleep. So he has been alive and actually watched the Dolphins win a playoff game. So I take that back. All right. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that share button. If you're into this channel, do me a favor and share the videos where you can. Appreciate the support. Kyle and I will see you tonight, half hour before kickoff or 8 o'clock or something like that. We're going to be streaming tonight. We're going to be streaming the Dolphin game Sunday. We're going to be streaming Sunday Night Football and streaming Monday Night Football. So be ready. Be ready for anything. Be ready. The dog's on the couch. You never know if the dog's going to lick your face or bite your face. It's a show. It definitely is a show.